When we left off, we were making our way into the North Pacific, sailing in the fog and tracking weather systems.
We just got contacted by a tanker, Pegasus Island, and it's on its way to Russia right now. Thankfully, the first time we've been contacted by a vessel. We were actually just watching them on AIS and about to give them a ring. Our CPA was going to be about a quarter mile from them, and right now we can't see them. They're about 8 miles out, less now, but our visibility is only about, I think we're about 2 miles, Hillary thinks. She's up there on the helm with Matthew. We'll go take a visit if I can get through here. It's pretty choppy.
It's a bit blustery out today. Going a good 25, 30 knots. Probably on average like 2.5 meter swells. Oh, and some wet ones. A few bigger ones in there.
You're not wearing your short shorts today?
No, not a short stay today, no. It's full foul weather gear day.
What about how's visibility?
I'd say visibility is probably about 2 miles. And we saw in AIS that we have a ship that's going to be passing in front of us. He actually called us on the radio, which is great news. That means that we show up on his radar because we do not transmit AIS. And he was paying attention and could see us. So looks like we should pass within about a mile of each other now that we've touched base and have a plan of action.
Conditions today, balmy with a hint of fog. Conditions for Celestial right now are hard to get a sunspot, you know, with my watch and everything. So I got it
somewhere.
Huh?
It's up there somewhere.
It's up there. So you got to use this method called dead reckoning, dead set reckoning, where you're sure you're right, but you might be wrong, but you're not.
So you might be able to tell by the weather and the apparel. It is cold. We're in the cold part of the world, and we're not even that far north yet. We're creeping up on 40 degrees north, 38, 39 right now north. It's been very foggy the last 4-ish days at least.
We've got a ship coming up on us here. Fortune Lady from Hong Kong, bound for Panama. And it's got us within about a 2 mile CPA, but for the last 5, 6, probably 6 at least days now, we haven't really seen sight nor hear of the sun or anything like that. And we've got a lot of fog out there. So today it was about a mile visibility before, maybe a little less than a mile. And we should be fine, but we're just going to call them just to make sure that they know we're out here and no one does any last minute turns to freak anyone out. So we'll give them a call here in a minute and just verify that with them. Fortune Lady, Fortune Lady, Fortune Lady, sailing vessel Makara 16, over.
Calling Fortune Lady, go ahead please.
Hello Fortune Lady, this is sailing vessel Makara. We're about 5 miles off your bow. Just wanted to make sure you could see us there. It looks like we'll be no factor. We're continuing on our current heading.
Okay, so you require the safety distance, 1 mile, 2 miles?
2 mile CPA should be fine, and we'll keep a lookout for you. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's done. 2 miles.
This is sailing vessel Makara standing by 16. Thank you. All right. All good.
He's like, I don't know you're there.
Well, that was a good one. That was good what we called him, because he doesn't seem to know who the heck we are or where we are. So I'm guessing he was not looking at radar right now.
No. Or
He was obviously looking at AIS.
small stuff tuned out.
Yeah.
Hello.
The co-pilot over here.
Yeah, we're 4 minutes from shift change. It's the first time we've been able to see more than a quarter mile since yesterday, I think. Not a big picture guy.
No one knows who this is. This is Daryl. You can't tell who anyone is right now. It's all the valleys. What's the conditions out right now?
Well, we got big swells. But Ed and I were trying to figure that out. We're thinking they're, I don't know, 6 to 12 foot swells or something like that.
Yeah.
And actually, other than that, the conditions are pretty good. We got good winds. We got a good heading sometimes.
This is our little hideout in our wet locker in the aft cabin. Hillary's got some ramen noodles here and we're watching a cooking show.
Well, we try and dry our clothes, which I think is a lost cause.
Trying to stay slightly warm. Today we kind of officially passed our halfway mark, what we think will be our halfway mark. We're expecting maybe 13 to 14 more days until we get to Nia Bay area on the streets of Juan de Fuca.
Yep. Got a chicken enchilada casserole, chicken, green chilies, rice, beans, enchilada sauce, and some homemade flour tortillas. Something nice and warm and hearty because it's cold. Well, I don't know if you can see back behind me, but that's the moon up there. It's the first time we can see the sky in how long? Like a week?
A week.
Craziness. We've been sailing in non-stop fog, thick fog, cloud, rain, lots of rain. It's been very wet, very cold. And we woke up on the sunrise shift this morning, Matthew and I, and there's sky, like blue sky all around, stars, the moon, and it looks like we might see the sun when it comes up, which is really exciting. I don't think it's going to stick around. The NOAA text forecast we downloaded last night describes this huge area of fog, like 10 to 12 degrees of latitude and longitude wide, so massive section of ocean, but we'll enjoy it while it lasts. Behind me, that is our double reefed mainsail. You might be wondering why we have the double reefed main up even though the winds are so light. I don't know if we talked about this, but the other day we went to go shake out one of the reefs and go from a double reef to a single reef main. As we were raising it, we heard a terrible sound and the sail was ripping. It didn't really get caught in anything. It ripped kind of at the end of the batten. It's a partially battened main. So at the end of the batten, just above the first reef. Thought we had snagged it. Look, there's nothing it's snagged on. I think it's just quite an old, tired sail, and it is at the end of its life. Looked at possibly repairing it. A decent sized tear. Could repair it, but it'd be a lot of work. We'd have to take the main totally down. So right now we're just going to run it with the double reef. It'll be a bit slower, but still works. So we have small sails for now, which is good. Makes it easy to handle. It's day 19 today, I think. Coming to the end of day 19. Like 24-hour time period since we left Honolulu. Sailed over 2,000 miles so far, and we have roughly 1,000 miles to go or so, give or take, depending on our route. We're almost to latitude 47. Yesterday we started to come a little bit more east. We're starting to make our way across the top of the Pacific High. Overall, we've had really quite calm conditions for most of the sail. We had a couple days of 25 to 30 knots, a few days of 20 to 25 knots, but for the most part we've had an average of like 10 knots of wind for most of the trip, so very calm weather. It's been a bit slow, but no complaints.
Alright Adam, how's it going? Give us a rundown of what's going on.
We're going 65 degrees up our little run line to a waypoint that kind of marks where we expect to be able to turn southeast towards Seattle. We're about 8 days out. Today's probably one of our best days of the trip for mileage without sitting in the rain. Everyone's been averaging 7 to 8 knots. Covering a lot of ground today.
That's all for this time. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to give us a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and make sure you're subscribed. Until next time.
Can't you just take a DR point on one of the waves off the port side or something?
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta have a good one though.
You gotta pick the right wave.
Yeah, it can't be the first one. It's got to be the brother, the one behind it, leading in. And if that one white caps, it's usable.
Right. You always wipe out the first one, right? Because that's
right.
You gotta.
First
you gotta,
one's it's like a, it's an old native kind of prediction.
And what native area are we in here? Right here.
Right here.
Is this the Atlantis people? Oh no, they weren't this
No,
cold.
this is the El Pacificos.
The beer?
Yeah. Yeah.